Who uses Facebook to get candidates? Okay, 6 or 7 people. Cool. You can use Facebook graph search to get candidates, but I'm going to show you a tool that was invented by a friend of mine. His name is Shane McCusker. He's Irish. He lives in Belfast. He's a brilliant bloke. He's smart. He was a software designer. He now runs a software company. He helped organize my last speaking tour of South Africa because he sells his software there. And he's invented this tool. One Intelligence is the name of his company. I'm going to show it to you. There's different tools you can use. This one is particularly funky, and I like it. You can search Facebook and all the people on Facebook by their name, by their employer, by their job title, where they live, what language they speak. All those different criteria. And so I did this, and what I did is I said, I'm going to look for a legal secretary, because some of my clients in Sydney and Melbourne are placing legal secretaries and they can't find the talents. And they're running ads on job boards, and they're tearing their hairs out, and they're crying and boo-hooing, and let's see if we can find them some candidates. And so I said I'd do that in Melbourne. And I did the search, and I kid you not, I got 120 legal secretaries on Facebook in Melbourne, right, through this tool. And who were they? Well, Gillian is a legal secretary at Minter Ellison. So's Arlene. No, she used to work at legal secretary at Minter Ellison. Maybe they sat next to each other. Sasha is at Clayton Utes. This one's at Heaton Hampton. And it went on for page after page after page. Now, I'm not saying those people are people you're able to immediately use. And you certainly don't want to connect to them via your personal Facebook page, please God. But you have identified them. You know that Arlene works at Minter Ellison. You can find her phone number, you can search her out on LinkedIn, and you can do any number of things with her. You could headhunt her through your new phone sourcing techniques, or you could connect to her on LinkedIn, or you could follow her on Twitter if she's there, or you could stand outside her office and crash tackle her if that's your tactic. You can go with any one of a range of things, but I want you to think about being proactive about finding people. And this is not hacking into Facebook and going behind into people's privacy settings. This is freely available information. And clearly that's not every legal secretary. I'm not saying it's every legal secretary. The first 3 you might be aware of. The first 10 you might be aware of. But suddenly the 11th is that juicy, peachy candidate that you could approach and bang, it's a $20,000 fee. Why? Because no one else had her or him. But then let's say, try another one, we want to look for a digital designer. And the reason we want to do that is that they're hard to find. And let's go to Sydney. There's people in this room who are trying to find digital designers, and they'll tell you if we found one with good skills, we could place them 50 places. We've tried everything. So bang, we go to this little Facebook search tool, and there are about 60 of them. Just have a look at the top 4. That's all the screenshot shows us. This guy is digital designer at Qantas. This one's a digital designer at Black Nova Digital. This one's a digital designer at Yahoo. These are peachy, beautiful, delicious candidates, potentially. Why aren't we seducing them? Why are we running ads on job boards and getting 55 more plumbers from Mumbai to screen and send emails to and say, sorry, I can't help you this time, and then they email back and say, can you get me a visa? And I'm not picking on those guys, but there's just millions, and then we spend all the time, and then we say we had a busy day at work. Phone this guy. Phone this guy and do something that's going to pay. Now, let's say your client was particularly funky, and let's say your client said, you know, Greg, I'm going to use you because you're a skilled recruiter. I want you to find me a digital designer in Sydney, but I want them to speak Mandarin. That's pretty tough. So I ran the search, and there she is! Digital designer at Levo, she speaks Mandarin. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be placed, but it's a start. Where would you start? I don't even work in digital recruitment, and I can find a Mandarin-speaking digital designer before you can. You get the idea, right? Let's become a skills hunter. And there it is, Shane McCusker's tool for you to use